Well, folks, I tried to tell you. I have been saying for years, and I do mean years, that Donald Trump is a goddamn white supremacist racist. And I've gotten some pushback on those statements. But over the years, he's provided evidence that he is a white supremacist, that he is a racist, and people basically just tended to ignore it or try to explain his words or his actions away. Him being the birther in chief as far as stating that Barack Obama was born in Kenya somewhere and that he had private investigators that went to Hawaii that uncovered stuff, and we were going to be shocked with what they uncovered. Unfortunately, those private investigators apparently never gave him a report of what they found. Therefore, he couldn't tell the American people what they found. But this one, folks, this one is the words coming out of his own mouth. This man is a white supremacist. You're probably going to see some portions of this on the news, but I'm going to read you comments that he made while attending a meeting that was supposed to deal with the visa lottery program and dealing with immigration in this country. The article, which is written, and you can find it if you choose to, in Salon, at salon.com, SALON.com. They did a story which they got from the Washington Post, and here we go. The Washington Post reports that in a Thursday Oval Office meeting with lawmakers, Trump grew frustrated when they discussed how to restore immigration protections for immigrants from Haiti, El Salvador, and African countries, which could form part of a much speculated bipartisan immigration deal. Two people who were briefed on the meeting told the Washington Post that Trump asked, "Why are we having all these people from shithole countries come here?" So by definition, and he basically said it, Haiti, El Salvador, and Africa, all of those countries, and Africa obviously is a continent made up of a lot of countries, that they're all shithole countries, and therefore, by extension, their people are shit. According to the report, Trump went on to suggest that the U.S. should bring more people from countries like Norway, whose prime minister he met with on Wednesday. Well, let's see. You put a standard citizen from Norway next to a standard citizen from Haiti. I wonder what the difference is. Well, if I have my eyes closed, I might say there is a difference in the accents and the languages that they speak. But if I open my eyes, it's like a slap across the face. One of them is white and the other is not. Now, the article goes on to state, Democratic lawmakers in the meeting were taken aback by Trump's comments, according to the report. The report also says that two senators in attendance, Lindsey need to kiss Donald Trump's ass more and more, Graham, and Dick Durbin, also suggested cutting the visa lottery program by 50% and then prioritizing countries already in the system. Now, what's that about? Though the meeting was supposed to be part of an attempt to reach a bipartisan immigration deal, reportedly there was no movement on such a deal. The meeting was impromptu and followed morning phone calls, the Post said. The White House issued a response to the shithole comment, though at press time they did not formally deny that he said it. And guess what, folks? They never denied that he said it. Here is the comment that the White House issued. Certain Washington politicians chose to fight for foreign countries, but President Trump will always fight for the American people. The president will only accept an immigration deal that adequately addresses the visa lottery system and chain migration, two programs that hurt our economy and allow terrorists into our country. Like other nations that have merit-based immigration, President Trump is fighting for permanent solutions that make our country stronger by welcoming those who can contribute to our society, grow our economy, and assimilate into our great nation. He will always reject temporary, weak, and dangerous stopgap measures that threaten the lives of hardworking Americans and undercut immigrants who seek a better life in the United States through a legal pathway. Yeah, right. Okay. Donnie, you lived in Queens. There's a statue out in the harbor, you know, just off the base of Manhattan, and you could actually, with a good set of binoculars, see the statue from Queens. It's called the Statue of Liberty, and it basically welcomes poor, oppressed people from all over the world. But apparently, you've never visited the island or cared to go into the history of the Statue of Liberty and why it's there. This is total bullshit. So Donald Trump basically wants immigration only from countries like, I guess, Norway, Sweden, the Scandinavian countries, and then I guess he would acquiesce and let some of the white Europeans in. But anybody else that's got a hint of color, i.e. Africa, the Middle East, or Asia, as far as he's concerned, all of these people are persona non grata. This motherfucker is a racist. And he had the balls to go on national TV or cable TV and state how happy he was that the black unemployment rate was down at historic lows for the black unemployment rate. Funny thing about it, the black unemployment rate is twice that of the white unemployment rate. But he failed to make mention of that and what he was going to do to get that number down closer to the white unemployment rate. This guy is a piece of work. You know, I don't want to continue to use foul language, but there is no doubt, and the words out of his own mouth declare him to be a racist. And anybody that attempts to defend him, his comments on trying to help people who need help. The Haitian people needed help because of the earthquakes, and then they didn't want to go back to Haiti because of, I believe it was an outbreak of malaria that was brought to the island by United Nations workers. The island still is a wreck. I'm not going to say it's in as bad a shape as Puerto Rico is right now, but it's damn close. It also explains how come Puerto Rico is still in the situation that it's in right now, and the fact that the Army Corps of Engineers, who are supposedly world-renowned for being able to get stuff up and running and get it up and running quickly, have been unable to restore Puerto Rico to anywhere near its condition before the hurricane hit it. I mean, 6 months later, people still do not have clean water, electricity in some areas. I mean, that hurricane caused a Puerto Rican migration from the island to the United States. And they are obviously U.S. citizens, and they have the right to come to the continental United States and go wherever they want. But these people were forced off of their island due to the conditions and the lack of help that they received from the United States. That's a damn shame. Now, you talk about the people down in Central America, Nicaragua and Guatemala, etc., those people were fleeing tyranny from drug lords. And it is the United States that in the past, excuse me, had always welcomed people fleeing from tyranny, no matter what the source. But apparently Donald doesn't see it that way. Funny thing about it, his own mother was a fucking immigrant, okay? She was an immigrant, but I guess since she was white, that didn't count. Folks, for all of you people of color who were idiotic enough to believe this guy when he said, "What do you have to lose?" We have a hell of a lot to lose. And it starts with self-respect, because this man, with the statement that he made today, just spit in the face of every person of color whose family or whose ancestors came from countries such as Nicaragua, continents such as Africa, islands such as Puerto Rico. He spit in all of our faces. I know there's not much that we can do about removing him, but we should at least stand up and make our voices heard as far as what we think of him and his racist comments, and let him know that we know what time it is.